Alright, so today I wanted to make this video, and this is from Alex Hormozy, or Hormozy, I'm not sure how you pronounce it exactly. I'm sure most people know who he is. Again, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of him, but this is one where he really hits a home run here on this post. Poor people stay poor because they're afraid of other people judging them for trying to get rich. And this is so true, right? In that, again, what holds people back so much is people just refusing to be willing to be seen standing out, right? I mean, and the reason, one of the main reasons I talk about this is that I've seen this a lot in my personal life, so it really hits home. The first thing being, you know, if you want to get in really good shape, right? If you want to get in really good shape, you have to be willing to let people see. I mean, when you first go in the gym, you don't look good. You don't know what the hell you're doing, right? I mean, you don't know anything, right? So you have to be willing to go through that period of, you know, going back and forth and all that stuff, right? And you also have to be willing to be okay with saying no to desserts and all the snacks and garbage that people eat, right? And you got to be willing to, you know, not go out and party all the time. Like, the list goes on and on and on, right? As far as money goes, right? I mean, if you want to start a business, you're going to have to put in long hours. You're probably going to have to not make a lot off the start, right? You're going to look like an idiot. People are going to judge you, right? And why don't you just go work for the man? Just go work for someone else, right? And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I work for someone else, right? Vast majority of people work for someone else. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, right? But I mean, when it comes to investing and stuff, right? I mean, vast majority of people I talk to about investing, they think you're weird, right? They think you're weird, right? You know, Bitcoin, people think you're weird. Even though, again, a lot of people have seen, you know, over the last 3 years, right? Bitcoin's literally like 5x the market. But yet, vast majority of people still, they're not interested, right? Again, this is the problem, right? People would rather fit in than and be uncomfortable, right? People would rather just fit in than actually stand out and thrive, right? So again, one of the you know, rules that I live by, maybe that's not the best way of putting it, but one of the things that I've noticed is, if you're in a rut, or if you want to grow in a certain area, you really should have people judging you, right? Like, if I go more than a week without people judging me for some reason, honestly, I start to get uncomfortable now. Like, that's how you want it to be, right? That's how you want it to be, right? I mean, if someone brings in the donuts and you don't have a donut, and people, why don't you just have the donut, right? People buy pizza, well, why don't you just eat the pizza, right? What do you mean? You're going to the gym? Like again, that's how you want things to be, right? Oh, you eat the same thing every day, even though I don't. But that's the kind of attitude that you need, in my opinion, right? That's the kind of attitude you need, in my opinion. Again, the same thing goes for money too, right? The same thing goes for money. Most people know someone that's not very well off, or, you know, that spends way more than they should. People know people that are very well off that spend way more than they should. But I mean, I know people, you know, that are in their 20s making six-figure salaries that could retire in 10 years if they wanted, and live off $150,000 a year. But they don't do that. They go on their 2-3 fancy holidays. They got the fancy truck. The list goes on and on. Right? So again, it's the keeping up with the Joneses mentality. Now again, I'm not saying you can't have nice things, but what I am saying is that if you're constantly trying to outdo the next guy, you're always going to find a next guy that's better than you, right? You're always going to find it. And again, my philosophy is shut up, stop caring about what other people think, and do your thing, right? And again, like I say, the more people judge me, again, you got to reframe it, right? The more people judge you, the better off you are. Because when people judge you, right? When people judge you, oh, why don't you want to eat the donut? When people judge you, oh, you're so stupid, you're going to lose all your money, right? That's them projecting. It's fundamentally, you have to view it. It's not a judgment on your part. It's just them confessing their own insecurities, because They're insecure with how they look, so they're going to project that onto you. They're insecure with their finances, so they'll project that onto you. That's what's actually going on, and that's how you have to frame it in your mind. Right? And again, Hormozy puts it perfectly here. Poor people stay poor because they're afraid of other poor people judging them for trying to get rich. Again, if you go into if you have a group of people making, let's say, let's say $20 an hour and below, and I'm talking people that are like in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and okay, how much are the 5 closest adults that you know making? The vast majority of them are going to be almost exactly the same, right? Again, because they're worried about other people, right? Again, so it's just a basic thought experiment that the way you get around it is just by reframing things. You just have to reframe it. It's that simple. So anyway, that's what I wanted to bring up today. If you liked the video, hit that like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more.